How's it going? I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but recently somebody asked me a question. They said, well, how often should I work out? And that's a good question because we've all probably overtrained, undertrained, overdid it, got an injury, etc. I will say that there's no easy direct answer. And if somebody says that they have an easy direct answer, I'd probably still steer away from that, because one thing to take in consideration is you, myself, and everybody, we're all individuals. So the amount of activity, say you would give somebody who has a very active job, like so let's say somebody who works in a warehouse. So if they're moving boxes all day and walking everywhere and lifting heavy things, you might not give them so much cardio or even excessive weight training because their job requires so much of a demand. However, let's say you take somebody who they have a desk job, or maybe they're an Uber driver or a DoorDash driver, and a lot of their activity is centered around, sitting or, stationary. Well, that's going to be something completely different. I would say the first thing you need to do is to get clear on your goals. Also, to take in consideration is, how do you see training? Meaning, let's say you go to the gym, there are some people where they're gym rats and they love the gym environment and they necessarily don't have any goals. They just love to work out. So every single day they're doing plyometrics, they're lifting weights, they're doing strength, and again, they got no goals. They just go there, they work out, and that's fine for them. However, I would say, depending upon your goals, is how you would want to structure your training, right? So for example, sometimes my training changes. I may do Monday where I do chest and triceps, Tuesdays where I do back and biceps, Wednesdays I do legs and abs, Thursday I'll hit it again where I'll do back and chest this time, Friday I'll do shoulders and arms, and then I may do resting on Saturday and really just focus on stretching or even some mobility work. And really depending upon my goals, like let's say I feel like my legs, because in that training, legs and abs were necessarily only hit once. Well, Sunday I may hit legs again and abs again, but that really depends upon my particular goals because my legs tend to grow fast. So I don't train them the same way I train the rest of my body, right? And also from injuries and things like that. But you could also do something where you do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, full body, where you go to the gym and you're just doing a full body routine. However, you would want to change some of the exercises so you're hitting different angles. So let's say Monday you do chest, well, you might do a flat bench. Wednesday, you might really focus on incline. And then on a Friday, maybe you're focusing on some dips, right? And again, this advice is kind of general, It's not going to be magnificent advice. And one of the reasons I'm telling you that is because you're an individual. So for me to really give you detailed advice, you would really have to sit down with me and I would really have to assess you, figure out your injuries, figure out your lifestyle, your goals, and your attitude towards working out, all right? However, I would say if what's always helped me, right, is one, I might really focus on getting stronger on my key lifts, right? And if I notice that I'm not necessarily getting stronger within a month or something, I really might change the way that I'm doing stuff. I might up it a little bit, or if I feel like I'm overtraining, I may take a step back, because overtraining and undertraining could be a core factor on why you're not seeing the results that it is that you want to see. So if you're a typical person, you know, you're not an athlete, let's say you don't play football, you don't play baseball, basketball, and you just work a 9 to 5 and you just want to get in shape. Me personally, I would say that you could get away with 3 days full body, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday and Thursday, that's where you really focus on your mobility, your stretching, and your cardio. However, if your main goal is fat loss, which you could also do, is get a step counter and just make sure throughout your daily activities that you're walking your steps, you know? So some of you may have kids. Instead of looking at it like this is exercise, think of it like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go play Frisbee with my son, my daughter for an hour. Hey, I'm gonna go to the park and I'm going to chase my dog around. Because what a lot of people don't understand is if you could fill a lot of your spare time with activities that require you to be in shape, to get stronger and to be leaner, then it's going to make your journey a lot less of a discipline, and it's going to make it way more of a hobby, right? And one of the best examples I could give you was I was actually just recently talking to two brothers at one of the gyms I go to, right? So one of the brothers is like the person I described, where he loves the gym, right? Where he's like, hey, you know, I want to be here, I want to run, I want to lift weights, I want to do the punching bag. So he has no set of course of action. He just goes in there, trains every day. And he has a lot better physique than most people, especially when you consider that America is 70% overweight or obese. Okay, he's in great shape for that comparison. Now, the other brother, he's not in bad shape. However, his mindset is a lot different. His mindset is, look, I own a business, I have a wife, and I have a son. And he said, I don't have 2 or 3 hours to be here playing around all day, you know? And so for him, you see those two different mindsets, you would have to give them something completely different, right? So for the person where you have a business, you have a career, you have a job, if you could work out even twice a week decently with weights, and you would focus on, say, pull-ups, dips, bench press, squats, deadlift, shoulder press, rows, and incorporate a wide variation, and just make sure that at least weekly or bi-weekly you're getting stronger, then you'll have a decent physique. Now, in order to get more shredded, or that's where you really need to typically focus on your diet. However, in my experience is that as I continue to lift heavier, naturally I tend to want to eat more. And as long as I'm getting stronger on all my key lifts, you know, weekly or bi-weekly, that's when I focus on. And then if I want to cut and lose weight, well, then I need to be more detailed on my macros, and that's for another video. So again, remember, how often you work out really depends upon your goals, right? Your behavior, right? And it also depends, like I say, your career and your lifestyle. I'm gonna note this one more time. If you have a very active lifestyle, you know, you're up at 6, you're walking everywhere, you know, maybe you ride your bike to work, maybe you skateboard to work, maybe you work in a kitchen where you're moving and jamming, then you probably don't need to focus on as much cardio. You really need to focus on weights to try to build the muscle in the areas that you actually want to see the muscle development in, right? So I'm going to table this conversation here. If you guys feel like I missed anything, and I probably did, feel free to share your insight, insult me, leave positive reviews, negative reviews, whatever you're in the mood for. All right. I hope all of you have a great day. Take care.